what's up, guys? So I just thought I'd do a little bit of a recap of my training over the last couple of weeks. As most of you probably know, I'm gearing up for another marathon. That's on the 22nd of July. So at this point, I'm just kind of like entering the tapering phase. I've already done my peak week. And I just thought I'd kind of talk about a little bit of what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks leading up to peaking for this marathon. Kind of races I've done recently, as well as the kind of workouts I've done to prepare for this. So I'll just go ahead and get started. Back in June, right now it's today's July 9th. So about a month ago, I ran a couple of 5Ks, and I did a marathon in May. Did a little bit of recovery off of that, but felt pretty good, felt a lot stronger after that marathon. So wanted to do a couple little fitness tests, and did a couple back-to-back 5Ks on the weekend of June 9th and 10th. Ended up getting a personal best of 21:58 the first day, and then came in just 9 seconds slower the next day. So, felt pretty good about that. I know like 22 minutes isn't blazing fast, but for me, that's pretty good. I've only been running less than 2 years now, and my previous 5K best was 23 something. So I took over a minute and a half, or just about a minute and a half off my personal best on the 5K. So that was pretty cool. And then, so the next week, which is a couple weeks ago now, I did one of my 20 milers, long runs for this marathon coming up. That went really well. I felt really good. It was a warm day, but just sticking to the strategy, basically the loose strategy that I did for the marathon in Fredericton in May, worked out really well. So that was good. And then I ended up having a pretty good week. I took kind of a down week, the week of the 18th to 24th, and you'll see me looking down. I wrote some notes so I don't forget what I'm doing here. But yeah, the 18th to 24th, I took kind of a down week mileage-wise, but the intensity was pretty high. So Tuesday, I had a really good hill session, did like 10 reps up a pretty good hill, felt pretty good there. Usually my workout days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Monday will always be a rest day for my long run. Wednesday is kind of a rest day after my Tuesday workout. Thursday, rest day after my, or Friday, rest day after my Thursday workout. Now, of course, I say rest day, but I run every day, so at least a mile. So it just means it's an easy day, whatever I end up doing that day, whether it's 1 mile, 3 miles, whatever. But Thursday, I ran what, to me, I think is my favorite workout. I love this workout because it absolutely just gets me like so confident about my abilities to run fast over distances. And it's the 3 times 2K intervals. So I do a little warm up for about 2 kilometers, stop, stretch, get myself ready. And then I'm doing not all out repeats, but I do 3 sets of 2K, 2,000 meters at pretty much like threshold pace. So not quite like all out race pace for a 5K or something, but really good up tempo kind of a pace, which for me is anywhere between like 430 kilometer to like 440 kilometers, somewhere in that range. So I don't know what that is. That's like a 720 mile or something. Anyway, that's pretty fast for me. So doing repeats of that, 3 times 2K with a little 2K jog in between just to recover, ends up being about a 12K run altogether, which is 7.5 miles or something. And it just, it's a confidence booster because you can run fast, but you're not going all out. And you can get some good speed work in without expending yourself over a long distance. And having those recoveries really helps. So that was a really good workout. And then just an easy day the next day. And then Saturday, the 23rd or something, I guess, I ran a 5-mile road race. And this is the first time I'd ever done this race. Again, I've only been running for a couple of years, so a lot of these races I'm doing are new to me. But first time I'd done a 5-miler, other than one that's kind of local, that's like got some crazy hills. Not really something I'm ever going to get a personal best on. But so coming off of those couple of 5Ks 2 weeks prior, doing some good speed work, I ended up doing this 5 miler in 36:53, which for me, that's pretty fast. I mean, that's a 4:31 kilometer pace, 7:16 mile. I felt really good about that. I started off kind of conservatively the first half and was running with this girl that I know for the first probably 2 kilometers, and then she kind of sped up, took off. And I waited till the back half, which I knew was just essentially just kind of a light downhill to the finish, and really picked it up and ended up passing her with about 2K left to go, and beat her by over a minute. So definitely picked it up at the end. So that felt really cool. I think I was like 14th overall, 5th in my age group. So I'm happy with that for sure. It's good to have a little bit of these, a couple of races or some good speed work in the marathon training. For me anyway, I like that because it gives me a good sense of where I'm really at. You know, if I can hold together that kind of a pace for 5 miles, what can I expect to be able to do for, 13 or 26, the full marathon? So it's a good kind of litmus test to see where I'm at, make sure my goals are realistic. And then, yeah, so the next week, the 25th through July 1st, that was my peak week, 3 weeks out from the marathon. And so this was my biggest week yet, which still isn't like insanely high mileage. I know some people run some crazy weeks, but I'm not an elite runner and I don't have time to do, much more than I was doing. But I ran just about 90K, which is about 55 miles. And that was a good week for me. So Saturday's race, of course, then Sunday I took it easy the next day. And what did I do? Monday was pretty easy. Tuesday I did kind of like a little 2K warm up, then just 6K at like a steady pace, which kind of up tempo, not really in my tempo zone, but pretty close to it. Just something that I can feel pretty good about. Maybe not quite as fast as like half marathon pace, but pretty close. So that felt pretty good. Wednesday I took it easy. And then Thursday and Friday I was just trying to get some easy miles in, just doing some distance. So just, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles those days, and just at a nice easy pace, in my endurance pace. And then, yeah, Saturday. So Saturday was a good run for me. I did a 10 miler, basically not quite tempo, not in that like, mid 4 minute kilometer kind of range for pace, but probably more at like half marathon pace, which for me is between like 450 and 505 kilometers probably. So maybe like just under 8 minute mile to like just over 8 minute mile. And again, I'm not a speedster, but for me that's a good pace, solid progression from where I've been. And this year running every day has made me see some pretty good gains for sure. But the whole point of Saturday's run is I wanted to do something up tempo like that because I wanted to deplete myself completely for Sunday's long run. I wanted to have I wanted to be running low on my glycogen stores. I wanted to have tired legs for my 20 miler on Sunday. So yeah, it was a great 10 mile run. Felt really good and got through at a nice pace, and it set me up nicely for Sunday. So Sunday I did my 20 miler, the last one before the race, before I taper off, and that was good. Just went along at a nice easy pace. It was very humid, but it was overcast, so not too bad, even though it was a little warm. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It was a good practice for the race too, like having that 20 miler 3 weeks out, practice my fueling, practice my making sure I'm staying hydrated, making sure that my form is good. Does anything feel off? Is there anything I should be doing, could be doing, whatever? And I took about a minute, not rest break, but kind of like walking, taking a gel, taking a drink, whatever, every about 3K to 2 miles, because I wanted to simulate the race environment. Where are the water stations going to be? Where am I actually going to be doing this in the race? So anytime I, was taking a little bit of fuel or taking a drink, other than maybe taking a sip while I was going along if I needed it because it was humid, then yeah, I was just doing it at kind of like a simulated water stop. So yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a great peak week. I'm in taper mode now, feeling strong, feeling good. This is where I start to notice some of the aches and pains that have accumulated over the last few weeks and even few months, because I've essentially been doing marathon training since January 1st. I've been running every single day. I did put in that marathon in Fredericton in May, on Mother's Day. Everything went exactly to plan, and ran my marathon. I was aiming for a 4-hour marathon, just my second one, and yeah, I mean, it came within 18 seconds. I can't really complain. So as far as pace, fueling, everything, feeling good crossing the line, everything was perfect. So now this one here, I think I can go faster, because I mean, I've seen significant gains in my running just since that marathon a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago now. So yeah, picking the pace, or picking the training right back up and just getting right back into it. Now I'm starting to feel some of that delayed fatigue, accumulated fatigue, some of those little aches and pains, just tapering off now for this last week, and it's been interesting, but can't panic. Just gotta relax, take it easy, know that I've put in the work. So anyway, that's kind of where I've been over the last few weeks and leading up to this marathon, and I'll keep you guys posted as I taper into this, and of course I'll share with you on race day what's going on, and we'll see what happens. Thanks everybody for your support, for following along, and especially on my other social media, because I'm not very active here on YouTube anymore, but I know some of you are definitely following me on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and it's always good to have supportive comments and just having that interaction and engagement. So all right, that's it for now, guys. Peace. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.